Peace family, I'm 19 Keys. As you can see, I got two of the most anti-suckers on the planet Earth. You understand me? And that's the good gods of the grace that I have right here. First, I'm gonna introduce my good brother, Steve Jones. Steve Jones weighs in around 160, 5'5". You understand me? Coming in as a hell of a killer. You understand me? He got a nice right, and he'll sleep your night-night if you play with him too much. He's from St. Louis, Missouri. He is the author of a new book. He is an established great rapper. You understand me? If you need a writer, come over here. Don't be quiet. You understand me? Send a DM or an email. You understand me? A very prolific individual, honorable stand-up guy. Don't play with him. You understand me? Because he don't play with you. You know what I'm talking about? Then you have next to this prolific individual is this brother Bashir Music, otherwise known as Bashir Planet. I'm Pooh. You understand me? Mr. Meditator, Elevator. You understand me? Do not play with the young God. You understand me? If you make him take your glasses off, yeah, you know what happens. The brother dropped way too many jewels. You understand me? Even a burglar couldn't catch all of those. You feel me? So at the end of the day, the way my brother be meditating, I think he created the metaverse. You understand me? I think it just popped out his head one time when they just woke him up, and then the whole universe changed. You understand me? Singularities come from this brother when he sleep at night. So listen, when we tap into this conversation, you know we're going into perplexing dimensions that even Stephen Hawking would have headaches trying to keep up with. You understand me? I'm talking about the levels that Bill Gates will hate us for. You understand me? I'm talking about Elon Musk have him feeling like a third grader the way we about to break it down. All you got to do is tap into three of the most genuine geniuses that architect reality from the most vicious visuals. You understand me? The most stimulating conversation. I'm talking about chakra amplifying. You understand me? Tectonics plate shifting. You understand about tap-ins. So I appreciate y'all. And the segment that we did was called Non-Fungible Thoughts. And it's three guys that's giving you the game. Peace, family. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I'm the only channel you'll get these non-fungible thoughts from. And those are introductions.
Hey, thank you for the introduction, man. You made me feel this talk today. But nah, man, we want to get into the talk, man.
Yeah,
it's
talk,
one thing,
for
sure. I'm glad that you're right here in my presence, because I keep scrolling down my phone, and every day I see something about crypto, metaverse, blockchain. But my question is, what is the metaverse?
The metaverse digital reality, man. So, you know, it's a stimulation where you can have parties, everything digital, right? You can have office meetings, you can build digital land. The metaverse is essentially social media, but built out a actual virtual world that you can live into. You understand me? So it takes the best of the internet, the blockchain, right, and virtual reality, and it combines them all into one. You understand me? And that's what you got, the metaverse. You understand me? Meta meaning beyond, right? So that's the beyond verse, beyond this world. You understand me? Into the metaphysical one. You understand me? Meaning beyond physical into the digital space. So everything that you can do here can be built out in a digital scale, and people are gonna be living in what they consider to be the metaverse, Web3 applications.
Caught that, he was about to say my eye.
So can anybody build something for the metaverse? Like a normal person on the street?
Yeah, I mean, as long as that person actually know how to build something for the metaverse. You understand me? Like, right now you can go and anybody, yeah, so to that answer, like, it's accessible for everybody. It's democratized. I mean, it's not closed off to nobody, right? Something like Mana, right? Mana is a DAO. A DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization, meaning that they create a smart contract for something that they wanted to do, right? Like an application, right? And then they no longer have to run it like a CEO, right? It's ran based on the protocols in that smart contract, right? So the metaverse with Decentraland was essentially plots of land that can be owned by individuals who go in there and then they buy them. And then they have tools inside of there that you can use to actually build out the metaverse. You understand me? Or your Decentraland plot. And then you got things like Sandbox. Sandbox roadmap is that they're going to be building games and things of that nature on Sandbox. And then you have people who create assets that can be used and transferred onto Decentraland. So the beauty of this is what it really did is that it created a way for, you know, let's say that if you play PS5 before, right? And you got a game that you play. Imagine if you wanted to create your own character and then put it into the game. You understand me?
You can do that on the metaverse.
You can do that, right? You want to create your own weapon that want to be added. You can do that. But let's say that you actually own this. So let's say if somebody else wants to buy it, then you can sell that to them, and then they can play it and add it into the game. You understand me? Now, in theory, this is how it works because you have digital ownership. So instead of you buying something, let's say you buy something, you ever bought an in-game app purchase, right? An in-game purchase. So you buy something in the game, but let's say if that game disappears, right? Let's say that game go bankrupt or they no longer operate in the server. This is an online game. Well, everything that you bought within that game goes down as well. You understand me? But now, this stuff that you bought is connected to your own wallet, your digital wallet. So that when that game goes down, you still have all of the assets that you purchased in that game. So they don't just exist in that world. They're your actual digital property. You understand me? And really, that's the power of the metaverse and blockchain technology.
I mean, okay, so since it's coming,
yeah,
and it's a storm that is coming, it's a wave, you know, so like they say, you might as well ride with the wave. Just like everything in the universe.
Absolutely.
So it's like, all right, so we got everybody from people that's still in the hood to the corporate level, you know what I'm saying? So how do we make sure the people, like for an example, the people that use Instagram, they came from the bottom, right? And they use Instagram to take themselves up and get to the top.
Yeah.
Now, so for the metaverse, now that that's coming, how can they apply the same tactics that they use, like for Instagram or the Facebook or YouTube, right, for the metaverse to get up?
The answer is, in my perspective, when it comes to the same way that people utilize social media to get famous, get money, you understand me, get access, it's the exact same way that they can utilize the blockchain to do the same thing, right? So let's say specifically, we talking about the metaverse. I talked about it last time, like, ain't nobody went viral in the metaverse yet, right? The beauty of it is that it's a wide open space that nobody controls yet. Now, what most people don't realize is that integration with all of the current applications of social media can be added onto the metaverse, meaning that, let's say if you go in Decentraland, you own you a plot of land and you build out a house, right? Or you build out a museum or a space that people can come to. Let's say these people own virtual headsets or they get on their computer or they utilize Lightfield, which is a device that was created by Idris Sandu to bring the metaverse into the physical space, making it easier so that you can have optimal focus and it's not so distracting where it's immersing you in the world, right? But the point of that is that you can take your YouTube channel and you can actually bring it to the metaverse. And when people actually watch it in the metaverse, then it counts as an actual view at the same time. You understand me? So you can host you a watch party, right? But then you see people, physical avatars showing up, so thousands of people. My brothers at biggest crypto play ever, or Chicago Crypto Bully, they be doing things such as this, right? Now, the plays that I see in the metaverse, beyond taking the space, selling, so the beauty about the metaverse is I want people to think about IPO, right? Actually designing stuff for it. You understand me? It's going to be the biggest marketplace that the world has ever seen because more things can be created in the digital world than can ever be created in the physical world. See, the beauty of companies like making things in a digital world, if I'm Adidas and I'm making digital shoes instead of physical shoes, guess what? It's no production cost. You understand me? So I can pull out 1,000, right? And it's good for the environment. You understand me? So at the end of the day, I can sell way more in the digital world, no overhead. You understand me? And then I can increase my bottom line as a company. So everything that you're doing in the physical world can be duplicated in the digital world because your digital assets, for a lot of people in your digital persona or character or profile, will be worth more to you in the digital world than it will be worth to you in the physical.
So people that's like, let's say for example, people that got $1,000 right now
Yeah.
to their name. You know what I'm saying? Probably just iPhone, maybe a laptop. How can they get involved in the metaverse?
I would say number one, you can invest in it, right? So they have Metaverse Index, right? So you can go in there and you can invest into the companies. Index are great ways to get access to multiple cryptocurrencies inside that space without investing into each one, right? So let's say if you specifically had $1,000, right? And let's say that this index goes up 100%, right? Now you got $2,000, right? So instead of you trying to pick which one you want to get into, do I want to get into the Decentraland, I want to get into this engine coin, I want to get into this, No, this is going to give you exposure across the board on all of the different metaverse cryptos that are inside this. So this is a way where you can take money, diversify, spread it across by buying into a Metaverse Index. Now, let's say that they actually want to get ready to get serious with it, and that's when they need to start studying Web3 design, right? So they can start designing things for the metaverse. You understand me? I always believe that everybody should be a designer right now. That's the best thing. All of that hard work out the window. It's smart and creative work right now. You understand me? Web3 designers, right now, it's not enough of them. It's not enough people to build on the metaverse whatsoever right now.
So design.
Design thinking.
Design.
That's what you want to do.
Designing is what everybody wants.
IPO, intellectual property opportunities.
There we go. Because a lot of people don't know what an IPO is. A lot of people don't even.
Well, it's initial, product offering. You understand me? But at the end of the day, I'm calling it the intellectual property offering.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Opportunity, rather.
Let them know that though.
You know what I'm
saying? You gotta let the folks know your jargon. You know what I'm saying? Your lingo, so that way they can understand exactly what you're saying.
Oh no, I'm introducing new language into the metaverse.
Absolutely.
I got a question. So everybody, if you've been on social media, you see that all these big companies are jumping into the metaverse, such as Apple and Facebook. They even changed their name to Meta. So with you being the business owner, can you explain to other people who might have their own business, why is it important for them to get involved within the metaverse?
Well, I mean, it's the same thing with NFTs, right? If you currently have a business that you're selling a product, you can utilize NFT as a place where you can start making your transactions so you can start earning cryptocurrency. Same way I sell crowns, right? So let's say I sell a physical crown. You understand me? But I say, you know what? I want to start taking cryptocurrency instead of taking fiat currency, right? So instead, I say you buy my NFT, which is currently up, the Crown Society one. You understand me? And when you buy that NFT, it will come with a physical crown that you can wear. So now, instead of me getting all my money into fiat, I'm getting all my money into crypto. So now I'm earning cryptocurrency through every transaction. Now, let's say that there are millions of people that got cryptocurrency just sitting in a wallet, right? Now, once the moment that you make it available for them to start making purchases in crypto, they will. Because a lot of them may not be thinking about converting their cash over to buy some of your product. You understand me? So you want to make it as easy as possible for your consumer to buy your product, and you want to give them as much access to payment portals to buy it as possible. You understand me? That's your job. So if you're not utilizing NFTs, you're just not utilizing another portal in which you could be making currency in your business to increase your profit. So it makes no sense. So anybody that's not spending time to learn NFTs, the best platforms to put it on, not buying into my tokenomics strategy pack, you understand me, or part of that infinite wealth strategy course, they just missing out on 6-figure, 7-figure opportunities. I've already done 6 figures in the metaverse space. I plan on doing 7-8 figures 2022 and beyond. You know what I'm talking about? So really, as a business, you understand me, you can't afford to not be in the NFTs. And I'm going to tell this, and I always say this, everybody will be into NFTs. Your grandma, your mama, your uncle, your partner, your pastor.
Yeah, your grandma already in the NFTs. If you ever had an old auntie or a grandma, they had antiques all around the house you walk in. NFT world is the same way. It's just ours not called antiques in our generation. It's NFTs.
Facts. And I think, one of the best things that we can do, especially moving forward in that NFT space, in the metaverse space, is, designing, like you said, but doing it from the heart space. You know what I'm saying? Because we got a whole bunch of people designing certain things, but it's just like, to me, it all looks robotic. To me, it all looks like everybody plastering the same thing, plastering and creating the same designs over and over and over. Same way how when you go back into the old households, like he just said, with our grandmothers and things of that nature, you see the same shit. They all used to have the same TVs, all used to have the same beds, couches, the whole nine. So moving into new spaces and new universes is like, what we doing with that? Like, how are we taking it? Where we want to take it? Do we want to keep on pushing the same agendas, the same energy? Or do we want to take it to something to where it's like, all right, something that's directly for our people?
Well, so empathy, designing with empathy is designing from the heart space. You understand me? And empathy design, really empathy is the business model. Empathy design, empathy everything, because as humans become more interconnected and things become more transparent, you understand me, And we need more understanding, more empathy in the world in order for us to be able to get along with each other and build with each other. The next generation is going to be the most empathetic generation that this earth has ever seen. You understand me? And if you were born before that and you don't know how to speak the language of empathy, you understand me, and to move from that heart space, you're not even going to have customers whatsoever. They're going to look at these megalomaniac giant billionaires and millionaires, you understand me, and be disgusted by it. You understand me? It's going to be a completely different generation on why they buy, why they consume, you understand me, what they interact with. Which is why anybody can introduce a new construct and they're empathetic to the plight of what they feel during a human experience. And why the next generations are still looking at that as like, there's too many pronouns for me. But the other generation is saying, hey, have some empathy. You understand me? So that's going to be a big gap and a big divide. Now, of course, time always comes back on itself. You understand me? There's going to be a generation that wants to look at the, the retro of the past. You understand me? And bring it back. The same way you got generations that are dressing like it's the 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s, and 30s. You understand me? They're going to look at the principles of those eras, and they're going to want to bring those back into the forefront. So it just requires patience. But empathy, I think, is something that the world needs, period, when it comes to design. We currently live in a world that's designed by a white patriarchal mind that has no empathy. You understand me?
Absolutely.
So we're dealing with a person that designs his tech with a bias inherently because he doesn't have empathy and he has a bias, right? He designs his worlds. There's no reason that we should go into the metaverse designing things from a 4x4 perspective. You understand me? Where you're talking about rectangles, you understand me, and squares of everything that we design. That's not how the original man designs. We design proportionate to energy vortexes so that the energy can flow in the architecture.
Yeah,
right? We don't design with corners. We design with it roundabout so the energy doesn't get trapped in certain parts of the house. We don't design with contraptments and containments so that it traps the mind, constantly putting into these windows and these portals, not thinking and not flowing with our thoughts.
Right.
So I do think that that's important because it gives us the opportunity to architect based on our cultural values and our ancestral lineage. So I think that's a powerful thought process that when people go, I would say this, number one, don't stop looking at, I always say this, stop looking at what everybody else is doing it. Stop doing that. You see everybody else doing the ape. Like, I thought about this for a second, like, they always tell people that you come from apes. Now, that ain't my people don't come from apes. Your people might come from apes because there's still some white folks out there growing tails. I ain't got nothing to do with that, right? But at the end of the day, here you get a new technology in the first projects that are massive, big projects beyond, CryptoPunks and the first ones, right? That comes with nostalgia and history and a different value set. But then you got things like your Ape Club. And then everybody goes apes. You understand me?
Right.
But I'm saying the de-evolution of man is reverting back into his primal form as he's trying to evolve into a new state of consciousness, a new state of metaphysical reality. But my first thought process would not be to divulge back into a primal state, but to evolve consistently. You understand me? Into light matter, into energy, into godliness, into a completely different essence.
Right.
So why would you continue to fall upon the things that man is influencing you instead of saying that, well, that was a successful project. Yes, we can go with those rules, which creates the next standards, which you're going to be forced to follow, or you can be a disruptor in the space.
Right, because we don't want to keep on replicating, keep on creating the same thing. We want to evolve.
It's time to celebrate your uniqueness. Peace, family. It's Steve Jones tapping in with you. This episode is sponsored to you by the book, which is entitled 6 Advancements How I Overcame Trial and Error. This book is actually a book that I wrote. In this book, I took 6 traumatic events that I experienced in my lifetime, and I told people my mindset that led me to those traumatic events, how I had to shift my mindset to overcome those traumatic events. Follow me on Instagram at Steve Jones AFNF. Click the link in the bio. Purchase your copy now.
Oh, I got an idea, but you gotta bleep it every time I say this. When I say this word, you understand me now? Listen, I got a $1 billion idea. We gotta create for the metaverse.
I was thinking that.
You buy.
I was thinking that.
You get with stuff and they got some kind of benefit to it. You going around. Every time I say it, bleep.
About that.
I got a dope question. Okay, so with the metaverse, with the metaverse virtual reality, right? Would the average person have access to it? Like, or do they have to own a virtual headset? Do they have to own a laptop, a computer, or something? Or could they join the metaverse from their phone?
I mean, I think eventually everybody gonna be able to just access it through phone, headset, whatever.
Well, you can do it through the phone, the glasses. That's what I'm saying. Idris Sandu created the Lightfield project. The Lightfield project, they got the earbuds. It sits and it projects the image onto the counter, right? So you can go into the applications, into the metaverse, and it's right here. So therefore, your sensory input is not completely just in this virtual reality matrix, but you still have access to the rest of the world, so you're not completely immersed and you're not overly distracted. Because the one thing everybody talk about, well, I'm gonna be in the metaverse, niggas gonna be in the matrix. Like, come on, B. You understand me? Instagram just had to roll out the feature again to tell you when you're supposed to cut off your phone because you're spending too much time on it. If they gotta roll that out, and what they trying to do, Facebook, Meta think they slick, they trying to roll out more empathy features. You understand me? That's why they getting rid of certain protocols on the ads and a whole bunch of different things, because they know that the next generation of consumers will not rock with the way they're doing business. I believe that in the future, most companies will turn into DAOs. There will be no more CEOs in the future. There will be ideas, concept, businesses. They will still be profitable, but they will be ran based on the governance of the people that buys into it, right? Meaning that, so for people to understand what that means is that, like, yo, if you go buy, let's say if you take Coca-Cola, right? Terrible product, but I'll use this because they're a huge company. You take Coca-Cola, right? Every time you buy a soda, you understand me? Let's say that's giving you like fractional, you understand me, share in that company, right? Now, the more sodas that you buy, when it's time to vote on what that company wants to do, let's say that company wants to go vegan, and they want to turn it into a juice company. Well, the shareholders within that company can vote, and if the majority decide that they want to turn into a juice company, they automatically start taking the funds of that company, and they start rolling out juice. Now, the beauty of this is that the consumer is always deciding what they want to buy. You getting profit because you got the actual distribution, manufacturer, marketing, everything, sales that goes behind it. But now it just gets to a point of why you need to steal the data from people if they can give you the data, you understand me, tell you exactly what they want, and then you get paid off by setting the protocol and setting up the infrastructure. So DAOs of the future, I think CEOs will go disappear, because also they just, number one, when you talk about empathy, it's no way that people that ain't get, like, CEOs making $200 million while a worker is making $10 or $20, you understand me, just don't make sense. Not in company structure, right? So I think that in the future, that's what will be the way things will be ran. That's the future I think makes more sense.
What do you think would be the pros and cons of the metaverse?
Well, cons, of course, with people overindulging and being obsessed with things like they do anything. There's addiction that happens with everything, right? People addicted to 19 keys. You understand me? people addicted to Bashir. People addicted to strippers. You know what I'm saying? Anything that you overindulge ain't good for you.
You gotta have self-discipline.
Yeah, just like anything in life, you gonna always have.
You're gonna have to digital detox people.
Because look, they rolling out the digital strip clubs. I seen Too Short already at the digital strippers. You understand me? He was bouncing with the digital strippers
you
already.
Get you a digital girl, man.
You understand me? They got the digital dating apps, the digital Bumblebee, and the Tinders already out there. You understand me? We know cats. Listen, everybody done went digital with the dating world anyway. A DM, you understand me? That's the digital meta right there.
Digital message.
You understand me? Right there. So at the end of the day, people gonna be creating virtual families with people that they never met. Are you talking about what's that one show where people?
Yeah, they gonna be on all weirdo activities, and I'm letting y'all know right now
who they are.
I ain't part of none of that.
Metafishing about to go crazy. People about to be out here metafishing. Bad avatar, beautiful. Change the voice, fluctuations.
Don't get caught
everything.
up in that, Steve. Don't be
showing you a fake birth certificate. You ain't gonna know if it's a he, she, they, or them on the other end. You understand me? Listen, don't be out here meta dating, man, because they gonna be meta fishing. You understand me? And you gonna be meta him instead of meta her. You know what I'm talking about?
Better find your wife now.
Be meta man.
Find your wife now.
Have to meditate.
Find your wife now. Look, cause
and there's gonna be campaigns against meta hate. I promise you. You understand me?
There's gonna be problems.
In the future, they gonna talk. Don't discriminate. You understand me? Against meta sex workers or meta genders. All of this stuff. You understand me? So you gotta curtail these things before they happen, because you know the advocacy groups come quick. The moment that a dude get catfished by a girl on Meta, then he trips out and then he Meta bombs the house. You understand me? All of a sudden, the Meta advocacy groups gonna be like, no, you can't do that. Equal rights, like, yes, that's trans meta hating. You understand me? Listen,
look, we ain't
I
dealing
already
with none of
see
that.
it. You understand me? But all right, so those are cons. The pros. So, listen, what people don't realize, and this is the issue that people don't study, right? Everything I get into, I study first. So, studies have shown that, number one, spatial learning, you understand me, is better than learning inside a 2 or 3D dimensional space. Like, so there's going to be increased aptitudes of the things that you learn. You're going to remember more by learning inside these spaces, right? It's also empathy training, you understand me? They talk about a lot of racism everywhere. So they're talking about rolling out this so-called empathy training where a white man gets to experience what it's like to live in a black man's life. You understand me? Basically what that means is he go to the bank, they deny him for a loan. You understand me? Get pulled over by the cops, they shoot. You understand me? He tries to holler at a girl, they give him the number.
That shit ain't gonna work.
You understand me? Now,
that sounds like a fantasy.
I'm being funny, but they've already started scenario training where it actually does increase empathy by putting you in the eyes and the mind of the actual person. Because human beings really have a symbiotic relationship to what we experience in spatial reality in space. You understand me? Now, that's just one scenario, black and white, but at the end of the day, it goes from men to women. It goes from all different situations. Just being able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes increases your empathy instantly. Now, whether it's going to cure your racism, we can't say that. But increased empathy is what they're going for, right? Because increased empathy increases understanding and acceptance and changes behavior.
To me, that sounds like some rich people shit.
Right, but it's actually what the world actually needs, because, you know, I give racism another 33 years.
It sounds like some racist shit to do, like, yo, I'm finna make a racist simulation so racist people can understand what racism is. That sounds like the epitome.
Well, racism is just an extreme example that I gave, but that's going to really go into every facet of reality. Just being able to experience life in somebody else's shoes changes perspective.
It does.
Because next time you go do something, you feel like the perpetrator on the other end. You now have empathy for the victim. You understand me? Whether you want to or not, because you just experienced it and implanted a memory in it. It switches the roles on you, right? I give racism another 30 years based on how the generations are being turned over, right? Plus, I'll talk about how time is changing. So the metaverse is going to change time, but let me stay on the pros, right? And even when it comes to people that have issues when they get out the army, they say that people have PTSD, right? And there's ways that they can optimize mental health and PTSD training by taking people through these certain scenarios, right? But even when it comes to mental health, they have this one program that they show where you can program yourself, record yourself giving yourself advice, right? And then they have a way where they play it back. They kind of lower the tone, you understand me? And they may change up some of the features, but what they realize is that human beings actually like taking advice from themselves. Not that we don't like taking advice, we like taking it from ourselves. Yeah. So if we play it back to ourselves as a reflection, it has a positive effect on it, right? And medicine, right? Doctors learning to do surgery trainings and different things, or increase efficiency where human beings are not doing certain jobs. But the point of that, especially in education, is what I like to see, and how that's going to be immersed in the education field, because I think education is behind by like 100 years, especially when it comes to technology, right? So being able to learn these new skills, have these experiences and environments, or even just take people to different places that they normally could not afford is going to be amazing, because you may be able to visit the Giza pyramids completely reconstructed, but you may not have been able to afford that in your lifetime, because many people never left the U.S. So now they're going to get cultural empathy. They're going to be able to experience the whole world without having to go to those places physically. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't go physically, but there's already millions of people, billions to be honest, that don't travel. You understand me? So it's going to open up the world to the world, right? There's going to be all sort of applications that already exist right now that they're going to be utilized and building. Most of the things that they're going to build on the metaverse is going to be for the good, right? Like people are not going to actively
Is it
say,
they or we?
Well, we
go build on the
you know what I'm talking
metaverse.
about? Because people ain't going to the metaverse and say, well, let me build some villain machine that kills people. Nah, people are trying to be like, how do I solve a problem utilizing this technology, right? Now, here's the thing. Anything that can be used for power will be used for power. When the TV came out and they realized that millions of people would sit all goddamn day in front of that TV, they said, man, we got to embed some subconscious messages in that. You understand me? So that's what they started to do. They started to embed messages.
That was actually my next question, because I believe that everything happened for a reason. So what do you think is the point of the metaverse?
I think that human beings must go through their, I wouldn't even call it a evolution, but I think that the metaverse there's a word for it, when things reach critical mass. You understand me? And there's no turning point from there. And things going to be evolving so fast that people won't be able to predict the future. You understand me? I think that human beings go through a cycle on this planet Earth where we reach critical mass. All of our ideas, our innovations and inventions and questions, they reach this point where they may be expanding faster than our universe, and then they could track back in.
Where does that idea come from?
Huh?
Where does that idea come from?
The universe. I just got it from God.
You got it from God. I've heard that before, like just on movies.
I might have sent it to you in your dream before.
Nah, you definitely did.
If you prayed about it, I answered before.
I mean, I just feel like that's kind of like outdated. You know what I'm saying? Like the universe. The reason why is because I feel like the universe is ever expanding. I feel like.
Oh, you talking about the idea of the universe expanding?
No. Not even just the universe expanding, but the human mind and our capacity to keep growing. Like, for some reason, we think that the universe is not autonomous to the human mind. You get what I'm saying? The universe expands along with the human mind. So even with the metaverse and even with anything new in our reality, all it does is it just keeps expanding the human being.
Well, the universe expands based on where light is reached. Same thing with the mind expands. The mind has infinite potential of expansion.
Right.
But let's say if you take a person and you give them too much at once, it can crack their fractal skull. You understand me? Like, it can make and drive a person crazy. Human beings have so much access to information right now, it's too much for them because they haven't evolved in perspective and wisdom with experience. You understand me? Culturally, as a collective, our potential as human beings absolutely is infinite. But if you go look at these people that's having too many experiences, they haven't getting too many downloads and they can't handle it because they don't know how to filter the information and how to use it, where to use it. This generation is overloaded with information.
Right.
That's why they're not executing, because they got information paralysis. They trying to look at 1,000 things at once and can't determine when to start and where to start. So they stuck at this point asking, like, how do I build a foundation to organize my thoughts to use that so I can execute? Which is why I always say the next step is execution.
So it don't sound like human. So what it sounds like a separation instead of actually a point of no return, basically. Because what it seems like is, well, the universe is weeding out people who don't have the capacity to focus and who don't have the capacity to imagine and to create. You understand me? And keep their focus aligned at all times.
I think the metaverse is perfect for those type of people that you're talking about, because it's like your imagination. Whatever you think of, you can throw it inside the virtual reality.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
People to get to choose their world.
That's like, you create your own
we
world.
all was forced to live in the world that we live in, right? Like, when you were born, you were forced in a system that has dominating, has a constitution, it has laws, it has order, construct, all of these different things. There's already corporations that rule the world, There's a certain selection of water you get to choose from. You have to go through those. Those are dominant frequencies and paradigms that exist.
Right.
But now it gets to the point where you can decide the world that you want to live in, a world built in your own image.
Right.
You understand me? So the beauty of it is that it allows you to be your own God. You understand me? In the sense that you get to build your own world in your own image that is better or tailored towards you and your design.
And we've been
Right.
y'all that we are God.
So I'm saying that the singularity only happens to people who quit in life, in general.
The singularity, yeah, that's what the
Yeah,
that's what
so-
I'm looking for.
So the people that take their mind, expand it, and continue to expand their mind, continue to have faith in themselves and things of that nature, faith in what they produce, faith in their design, faith in their creation, those people will continue to expand and sprout and expand the universe. You get what I'm saying?
No,
Like-
that's the singularity is not that it stops people from existing. The singularity is based on whether this empire or society or world that we exist can have a continuation in the way that it is built. Now, this world
Right.
in its material sense has ran out.
Oh, this world
So
is
this
gone.
Last and dying lead.
And-
The metaverse is artificial intelligence, right? So you're talking about blockchain technology to me is AI, right? So when I look at AI, if I'm looking at things from my numerical, high-level mathematical observation, 19 key formulas, the way that I be utilizing them, you understand me? Then I'm gonna take that A numerical value 1, that I numerical value 9. We're gonna put it together. Then you got that 19. That's them trying to play God because that's the artificial intelligence, right? But the original man, his DNA, you understand me? You take DNA, right? You add that up, numerical value 19. That's when you get AGTC, Allah God the Creator. That's that 19 God, that masculine, that feminine. That's the originators of the human being, the human code, the human genome, right? Anything after that is artificial, anything after the original, right? So trying to play God, you got an AI, right? If I
Right.
go AI, I'm an artificial intelligence, then what I'm gonna do? If I'm running out of people, artificial insemination, another AI. Wait a minute, hit them with the fool. I got another AI for him. Allen Iverson, no, I'm just playing.
Right.
Artificial ingredients. Let me get my AIs out. I got to get my AIs. It's too good. You understand me? Artificial ingredients, right? So they make fake food. They didn't originate the original, you understand me, agricultural revolution. You understand me? It took Dr. Sebi to let us know that we was eating fake foods. Honorable Elijah Muhammad had to come and make a disruption, right? The artificial man, you understand me, with his artificial ingredients, artificial intelligence, artificial insemination is on his last dying leg. Because the 1/9, which is representative of the masculine and feminine, specifically the divine man, that black man and that black woman, that's the 19. And that 19 code is also a breakdown of time. You understand me? And it teaches you how the destruction of time comes about. So
Right.
these are the end of times. His time and his ability to create artificial time and artificial timelines. So in the cycle that we're going in now, we have reached the singularity of the end of his world and the beginning of our own.
AI. Yeah, AI. Okay, this AI conversation. See, so it sounds like the singularity basically is, you know, them destroying they damn selves, because, you know, this whole time it seems like with this AI energy, this artificial intelligence, this artificial food, this artificial insemination, and all these different things that they've been trying to do to the black nation, you know what I'm saying? It seems like, you know, they know that we was the beginning and the ending. You understand me?
They do.
And we gonna always be here, and we gonna always conquer, and we gonna always rule, and we gonna always stand right where me and you at. You understand me? As black gods, just like our people will always be. So they trying to create a program, trying to create solutions to their problem, which is us. You know what I'm saying? and I'm gonna let y'all know right now, it ain't no solution to us. You understand me? We always gonna be here. And that's gonna be for the end of time. It's gonna be in the metaverse. It's gonna be in the universe. It's gonna be in the omniverse. You understand me? Any verse anybody else try to architect. That's the whole point. When you come from God, when you come from the source of God, it can only ever be God. Do you understand me? Just want to let y'all know that.
And even when it comes to
Who told him he can look in the camera and have it? You know, we gonna let that slide.
But nah, what I was saying though, anytime, you know, anything that's innovative coming out, it ain't cool until black people do it.
No, that's
Absolutely,
super
that's
fact.
super fact.
I want to know, moving into the metaverse space. You know, black people always over the way the media put it out. They make it seem like black people always adapt into situations. How could moving into the universe, the metaverse, black people need to jump on it now? Why should they jump on it now? That way we don't have to adapt before it's too late.
Easy. Interact with opportunity, don't react to success. That's I've been ever since I taught technology, I came up with that slogan specifically for technological innovations that we on the opposite end of. Right? Interact with opportunity, don't react to success. Why? Because the moment that you're reacting is already too late. It's somebody else's success. I would rather be the one that interacted with the opportunity and the rest of the world is reacting to my success. 1991, you had the first internet, you understand me, page went up. 1995, first social media. What were we doing between 91 and 95? You understand me? We was fighting Joe Biden. We was fighting for atonement. You understand me? We still trying to get our households together in order. So we so distracted with our problems, we don't even see the continuous solutions that's arriving. You understand me? But every goddamn white boy in Silicon Valley was able to take advantage of that. You understand me? Create billion-dollar empires. You understand me? Off the internet age that was developing. So we are reactionary people. We're not revolutionary. I talked about activists. Activists are mostly all reactionary and no revolution. Because revolutionaries create something new. You understand me? Revolutionaries are moving the needle forward, but they just taking the old model of what it looks like to be, you understand me, a revolutionary, and then they consistently cloning that and duplicating it over and over every time a problem sprouts up. So when it comes to things like crypto and blockchain and things of that nature, I look at the problems that exist currently that we complain about. I look at our reparation problem. I look at our crime problem. I look at our political problem, our education problem. You understand me? I look at our lack of self-love, community development, family development problem. And I say, well, damn it, where can those problems be solved the quickest? And if there's a technology that was created to where we can utilize it the same way social media help advance our media, portray our images, advance our causes, take stars that exist in our community, you understand me, and we have a voice because the top leaders that existed in the history, you understand me, of America all had their own media. So the moment media became democratized and everybody had access to become their own media giants, you understand me, there was a reason for all of us to be framed like Bill Cosby.
I wouldn't necessarily agree with everything you just said, because I do believe that black folks revolutionize everything, and I think that we create the standard for everything, and I think that all these other creatures, these other artificial beings are the ones who take our best, you understand me, and they use it against us. And then they end up, because they got the capital, they got the revenue, and they got the, the backing of banks and things of that nature. So they take our designs and they take our minds, right? And they just, because they have the ability to financially and through patents and stuff like that, like they continuously have been able to do, is just steal. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's best for us to remind ourselves that our people are the ones who, again, we the creators, you know what I'm saying? We the builders, we the designers, we the building blocks. So it's like.
So hold on, you talk about standards. I created a program called the Wealth Standard, and one thing that we ain't revolutionized as a standard towards wealth and power. So all of that other invention and stuff, it don't matter unless we control, own it ourselves. And that's really chiefly the whole point of it.
Right.
Yes, we are the greatest influencers, inventors, you understand me, creators, but we don't own none of it.
Well,
we don't have rulership
that's what I'm getting
over
to.
it.
That's what I'm getting to.
And that's what I was alluding to, is that the point that if we don't make power and wealth our standards, the rest of this shit don't matter. We gonna continue to be working for somebody else as they build out their world, you understand me, on the backs of our energy and our intellect.
Right. I mean, I agree with you on that point. I said the only thing I didn't agree with was that you said that our people, revolutionize. Like, in our revolutions, like.
I didn't say we don't revolutionize.
Even the whole idea of revolution, like, all of that stuff comes really from us. Like.
I never said we don't revolutionize.
No, you said something in the terms of, like.
I said our social activists, you understand me, a lot of them are reactionary rather than revolutionary.
Well, yeah.
And I do that based on, you look at the social activism climate that existed, even over the past summer. You understand me? Billions of people around the world gathered together, you understand me, for a cause, right? It was George Floyd, right? But at the end of the day, when we talk about how efficient it wasn't the most efficient. Because it should have never took millions of people to get one judge or one DA or one sheriff to arrest somebody, you understand me, and get justice for one simple goddamn case.
Absolutely.
So all of that energy should have went to something like what we got, cryptocurrency. We could have raised billions of dollars that could have had impact all across the inner city America. So when I think about revolution, we may feel like we're being revolutionary, but only in the direction that they want us to revolutionize.
Well, yeah, see, there we go. See, that's what I want us to go to in the conversation is, because I don't like blaming our people for shit.
Well, no, we got to take accountability for everything. No, because
I'm
we can't be gods in one moment, and then we cannot be blamed for what happens to God in the next.
You got to hear what I'm saying. You got to hear me out. Listen, because we all talking about the same thing. But
right, but I want us to take full accountability because I think it's all fault.
Because we had a conversation about empathy. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to our people, right? Just like how you just broke that down in that way that you just did, that's what our people need to hear.
But I just did a full podcast doing that other breakdown, so they gotta watch that, and if they don't watch that, then they miss that, and that's y'all fault, because y'all just wanted the metaverse talk.
You know, our people, people like to say our people emotional, things of that nature, but again, we geniuses, so, and we understand logical things, we really do.
But we need tough talk too.
You know what I'm saying? We do.
Everything that I have is like,
we
our people are being too spoiled, babied, and slapped on the ass, rather than just talk straight to. Because it's a lot of missing fathers in the household, so people not getting that straight talk.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But the best way to empathize is just by giving somebody knowledge. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're doing. You get what I'm saying? So the more that we give knowledge, and the more that we break these things down, you understand me? That is the true empathy. That's the shit that we need. You understand me? And then it's like, that's what these folks want to hear is like, oh, they keep on talking about this. No. We go come in. We go just execute. We go let people know exactly how they can do, how they can move. This is how y'all do it. This is how y'all do it. You understand me? And we just keep on moving forward.
But they got to get the mindset that goes along with it. One of the chief issues that I see is that, listen, I can go right now on the internet and see how-tos all day long. You understand me? Mm-hmm. But if the mindset doesn't come along with it, then it doesn't address the inherent problems that our culture faces, right? Our culture, everybody needs a stern father type energy. You understand me? You also need a loving, nurturing mother type energy.
Right.
You understand me? But what is chiefly missing is that stern father energy as well. You understand
Especially
me?
in the black home,
because
for sure.
if you imagine if your pops coming in the room and say, son, you need to get on this blockchain. You understand me? And not only that, he come in and give you the game. Let me give you the breakdown of how this technology gonna help us get some power in the future to build us some family industry. You understand me? He gonna listen to Pops like, man, Pops told me to get on this. I'm on this like a soldier in the battlefield. I'm listening to that order from the general, right? So our people are looking for, they saying, Keys, I don't have a foundation. I don't know how to be organized. I don't know how to get listen, I understand everything you're saying is right. You're completely right, but I just don't feel like basically I'm man enough to actually execute.
All right.
And that's where the mindset comes, because it's 20% skill set. That's the how-to. That's the skill set. I teach you how to do it, what to do, when to do it, where to do it. But that ain't gonna get you actually executing and having self-determination that needs to be sparked within.
All right, so we talking long term, right? So one of the battles and one of the ways that they do against us, right, is they use entertainment. You know what I'm saying? They use everything that we watch, everything that we practically indulge in, right? So, and what I've noticed mostly in any type of entertainment space is all of these spaces are designed Caucasian. They all designed with false stories, right? All designed with no, because you talked about empathy and the future of business and things of that nature is empathy, but I'm thinking like, okay, they still haven't corrected, or even we still haven't corrected our image yet. You get what I'm saying?
That's the beauty of the metaverse, because you can create your own world.
Right.
That's
so
why I want
we still,
in, is to just
so
start
look,
designing.
so we still haven't created created our image yet into the entertainment, into the actual world of how we need it to be. displayed. Like we don't have representation of, and I'm out here you talk about this often. We don't have representation of like even our ancient warriors. You know what I'm saying? We don't have representation of our ancient warrior males and women and in the entertainment industry. We can't even get a show with just African warriors from some ancient time.
Yeah,
you understand me?
50 Cent with the Nzinga show.
Shout out.
Queen Nzinga, that's solid.
But simple things like that, because you know we dealing with in America where the black man is not in the household. You know what I'm saying? But we need the black man in the household. How do we do that, right? We do it through the entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Just like they do it through the entertainment. They put they white kings up there, they white princes and all this thing, so that way, if the white boy don't have a father in the household, he can still see himself in the entertainment. You understand me? He can still see himself as a king through the ideas of him watching himself, right? So this is why I was talking about designing the metaverse moving forward, because we need to design it with us designing it with these intentions of putting
our people
exactly
positive,
exactly everything that we do needs to represent. Because we saying really redesigning our culture for us as a kingdom, we need to actually tackle all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, see, and that only happens if individuals like yourself become designers.
Absolutely.
Because even and this is why I say become a designer, because being a designer doesn't mean you have the skill set to actually do the programming and the art and things of that nature. It means that you have the intellect that it was designed based off of.
Right.
Right? And it's why I'm not saying, become an engineer, which I think is very important. Yes, become an engineer as well. Any nation building skills are completely necessary. Right? Getting into the Web3 coding and things of that nature. Necessary because somebody actually has to program these ideas.
Right.
But oftentimes the person that learns the art side of it, they learn how to do the Blender and the 3D visuals and the Procreate, and they learn how to get on the Web3 and they learn how to design. They don't have the ideas, right, of the original intellect. You understand me? So they're going to build out a world based on the way that they think.
Right.
So this is the chief issue that we have in society, is that everybody has a Eurocentric way of thinking. And if you have a Eurocentric way of thinking, then when you get money, you're going to spend it based on your Eurocentric tendencies. You understand me? Now, what black people don't realize is that we have a Euro and an Afrocentric way of thinking, right? The Eurocentric way of thinking is based on the cultural norms that we inherit being a part of American society. The Afrocentric way of thinking is based on our DNA and our ancestors and those cultural norms and values based on our African psychology.
And that's just
right?
righteousness.
And these two are chiefly and inherently different. You understand me? Now, one goes into our spirituality, being steeped in the moment. You understand me? Being righteous, being good, our family order.
Yes, sir.
The Eurocentric, that's our business mind. That's our cold, cutthroat, capitalist, you understand me, American dream mindset of material. So one is the material and one is the immaterial. You understand me?
Right.
But in the clashing of the worlds in this metaverse, you understand me, it is bringing the material idea into the immaterial possession.
The merging.
The one thing that I want people to understand, and if you can get this idea in your head, everybody talks about how because the metaverse is immaterial, then it cannot possibly have the value, right? But once we realize that everything of true value is immaterial, it changes the switch in our head.
Right.
You understand me? The mind is immaterial, yet it is the most valuable substance in the known universe.
Right.
You understand me? So when we talk about material, what we don't realize is that we become materialist and materialistic. So we don't think that unless it's material, it don't have value, right? But when you become an immaterialist, right, you realize that the immaterial things are the most valuable ones in reality. So you can take your imagination, because the metaverse is a metaphor for metaphysical. And if you have a proper imagination, then you can bring out that which you will.
Right.
And then it's common sense. If how you gonna glorify some material shit, materialistic things in life, it came from the mind in the first place. Somebody thought of this iPhone,
Absolutely.
actually designed it and put it out.
This ain't the value.
So this is why
the mind that
the mind
this
that
is the
created it.
value.
So this is why in the beginning of the conversation, when Steve asks, right, what would be the most important things for people to do moving forward in the metaverse? And this is why you said be a designer. Because the designer is the being who looks at the immaterial consciousness, the immaterial world, who designs things based off of the inner being. This is why I'm always, see, people be thinking like, oh, Bashir, guru, all these things. No, I am the being who is here to correct the way of thinking in people, is that you can have exactly what you want simply by thinking it, simply by knowing it, simply by feeling it, expressing it, simply by believing in it. Have belief in your consciousness, have belief in your thoughts, have belief in every way that you move. Motherfucker, if I draw a line, that shit is hard. You get what I'm saying? This is how we got to get back into feeling. How we got to, so there's a correct way of feeling. You know, people like to say, oh, don't be in your feelings. No, it's an actual correct way to feel. Feel yourself into the point where you know that you God. You get what I'm saying?
Become an immaterialist with the power to draw in the material universe.
Absolutely.
Because
that's
the
what
more
we're
that I
talking
put
about.
into this immaterial value of my mind, the more power I have to will over reality. It's something they call biophotons, right? And biophotons are light that the body produces, right? If a person is to get sick, you understand me, and they put them through Kirlian photography, or they put them to where they can measure the aura or the light of a human being, they're going to see an increase of light in that person while they're sick. Now, why do you think that is?
Because the body is healing itself, so it's heating
is
up.
Healing.
Yeah,
exactly. So therefore, it's going to have more light.
absolutely.
You understand me? Which it was proof during the time that they did it. It was in a book of God by Dr. Wesley when I was reading this. Now, what you realize is that everything around us is light. You understand me? And the more masculine that you have, masculine energy that you have, you understand me, the greater your willpower. You understand me? The greater that biophotonic energy at a biological level. You understand me? Because we are all light beings, and this is what a lot of people don't understand. So what they got to do with anything, right? We fast vibrating molecules. You understand me? Always vibrating, trying to match frequencies, matching frequencies, producing. Now, this is light, right? It has ultraviolet radiation, small particles. Now, the greater my will, you understand me, the greater my ability, you understand me, to have a connection with the immaterial world. Meaning that the less masculine men don't have a greater will to produce their ideas into reality, to bring them into light.
Right.
Because this is light, you understand me, at the match of is light made into mass, slowed down. You understand me? And so we literally take ideas from the darkness and bring them to light. That's all I'm trying to say. Yeah. And then secondly is that this immaterial mind power that we have, the more value you have in here, the more power you have to shape reality in your image. You understand me? So we men don't have that much power over reality. That's why the masculine man wants power, because he can shape reality in his image. So the metaverse is a playground for a God. You understand me?
So
the stronger my mind, the more image that I get to get out.
19 keys. So what you just said, you just said something profound that it just made sense or something. You get what I'm saying? You said that the masculine man is material. You get what I'm saying? That he doesn't have the willpower to produce more material. So an masculine man, right? He wants to have all the material. You get what I'm saying? Because he don't have the willpower to produce it himself.
That's a fact.
You get what I'm saying? So this is why they taught our people to be so materialistic instead of actually being inner.
Immaterialistic.
You get what I'm saying?
This is actually the age now.
Knowledge is immaterial.
Absolutely. The more knowledge we have is power.
Now.
Knowledge is power.
For 100%.
Excuses for suckers.
They're eliminated because this is the age now where we only can focus on possibilities, not limitations.
Absolutely.
You gotta just get rid of all that shit, because now there's no excuse. We can produce in the metaverse. Anybody, any individual. If you got the common sense to cross the street, you smart enough to produce something in the metaverse?
Yo, put this down on the screen. Text 55 to 323-577-6692. If you watch this, get my tokenomics strategy pack for $55. It's gonna give you how to write a book in 3 to 4 weeks. I put together the strategy. If you listen, learn, and execute, it's up to you, right? Then you can write a book in 3 to 4 weeks. I put together this strategy because I know it's a lot of y'all with too much information already. I'm just giving you directive, smarts, and access to go and execute. You could become an author. Everybody should write a book. A book is one of those things that they make it a new customer for every single day, and that can pay you for the rest of your life and even beyond if you connect it to your trust and your estate. You understand me? So therefore, you got a product that will make you money for the rest of your life, and then we teach you how to mint it on the blockchain and everything. So therefore, it's now a part of the recorded history of the human family. So now you're adding to the ledger, you understand me, of reality, right? Then you're going to learn the tokenomics, right, which is the study of cryptocurrency, how to evaluate, order the coin, the whole smash of value. Then you're going to learn the NFT, checking out from the scams of the real one, how to design one, how to find a product, how to market it, how to create your community, how to build up the hype. You understand me? How to go and trade, invest, and how to make money. Students have made anywhere between 5, 6, you understand me, figures trading NFTs just this year. You understand me?
Wow.
So make sure y'all tap in, get the best of the benefit. Text 55 to 323-577-6692. Make sure y'all tap in.
Yeah, I want to say this, like, our good brother Steve wrote that book, you understand me, because of the energy, because of the vibration.
Drop Steve Instagram on top of
right there.
Steve Jones, AFNL. Follow me on Instagram. It's up there. I can't see. Oh, I ain't got my virtual headset on right now. These are not the glasses. But anyway, but yeah, check this out. I real life wrote the book, and I wrote it from darkness. I came from darkness and I brought it to light. Now I got something that I can real life sell. Like, I'm surprised that you ain't hear the ching ching come through, because people in real life been buying my book. You're gonna learn something. One thing about the platform on this side, we only putting out valuable information. And that's how we moving, man.
And I'm currently using it.
The 323-577-6692. I'm put a link in my community chat. They want to buy something, they can get the book.
I'm currently using the information right now to write my book, you understand me? So that's how powerful and beautiful it is. So look, Bashir don't co-sign anything, so Bashir is co-signing this, you understand me? So tap all the way in. It's only one money in the
I once needed an apartment. He would not co-sign.
I don't co-sign anything.
Hey, listen, fellas, I appreciate y'all, man. We had a powerful conversation. This was definitely not fungible thoughts. You understand me? Yeah. Make sure y'all tap in again. I'm 19 Keys. It's not fungible thoughts. It's the War Room. It's the podcast. Y'all know what it is, man. Greatest thought leader of our generation.
Non-fungible thoughts. I like that. Non-fungible thoughts. I like that. I do want to leave y'all off with this. You understand me? To give y'all something powerful, right? Something that I feel like will help y'all on y'all journey. You understand me? Keep y'all motivated and keep y'all inspired and things of that nature. It's a movie that I feel like everybody should watch. It's called Never Ending Story. You understand me? If you watch that, put yourself in a perspective of the movie, and you go see exactly what I'm talking about. Just tap all the way in. One mind in the universe. I'm
all right, this was Non-Fungible Thoughts. Them 19 Keys. It was Bashir Music. This is Steve Jones, man. Make sure y'all tap in. I appreciate y'all. It's a never ending story out here.
Peace, fam.
Yes, sir.
Peace, family. I'm 19 Keys, man. I got something to tell y'all. My brother Steve Jones, he wrote a book, man, and this book is actually very powerful. He took 6 life traumatic events, you understand me, and he put it in his book that can act as a self-reflection that can help you in your life. You understand me? This is somebody that I've been knowing ever since I was a child. I'm actually very proud that he's accomplished this, especially since getting out of jail, getting on his feet, and turning over a new leaf in his life. You understand me? As we go through life, one of the best things that help us advance is learning the perspective of others. So therefore, we don't have to go through the same situations. And if you can take 6 advancements that he made through his life and you can apply those to yours, then you're going to be 6 times more wise by the time you're done reading this book. I highly recommend that each and every person that sees this video click the link in his bio and tap into this newly minted author. Peace, family. The greatest thought leader of our generation. Signing off.